globes or a map. And so that to me was really unique. Seeing the aurora, the collection of charged particles near the magnetic poles of the Earth. Pictures are great, but seeing it with the three-dimensionality of it, it's really hard to describe it. Putting some of these things into words is challenging, but the strangest things that I saw are how the Earth actually looks with just your own eyes, no microscope or telescope, from 250 miles up. It's truly amazing. But no, I didn't see any spaceships other than the ones me and my friends flew up there, and I didn't see any other living beings except for me and my friends inside the space station or a couple of spacewalkers outside.
Okay, great. Thank you. A lot of questions about what day-to-day life is like on the International Space Station. So, what's a typical day, and how do you do all the normal things that we do here on Earth? And so, a good question that represents this many questions of this area is Brooklyn from Mrs. Dyson's third grade class at Woodland Elementary wants to know how and where you sleep on the International Space Station.
Great question. Living on the space station is busy. That's, I think, the most important characteristic. It's busy. There is always something going on, and it changes by seasons. If it's cargo vehicles, science time, spacewalk time, and so it's hard to say a typical day. But some things that we do try to keep pretty regular are sleep. We try to protect a good 8-hour block of sleep. And so we have a period before sleep where the crew gets to wind down. We have a period after sleep where they get to wake up and get started, eat breakfast, and get ready for the day. And then in the day, the work day, there's 12 hours, and we put in about an hour for a midday meal, lunchtime. And then we have about 6.5 hours of planned work for science, maintenance, robotics, outreach, anything else that's going on inside the space station. And then 2.5 hours of the day is broken up into 2 exercise periods. Most of us like to do them back to back, though, because you get sweaty. But you get to do exercise, strength training, and cardiovascular training, and then time to clean up and get ready for the workday. And so that all together adds up to your 12 hours of workday. And then and what the specific work could be, talking to students on the ham radio, to getting in the microscience glove box and working with plants or physics or advanced manufacturing science activities, like you saw in the video. And so it's interesting. Interesting because living in weightlessness, where you're there all the time, waking up and going to sleep weightless, space makes hard things easy and easy things hard, eating and sleeping and whatnot. And when you sleep on Earth, you're used to lying down and turning off the lights. Well, we are 250 miles up, going 17,500 miles an hour, and so we get to see the sunrise, and it's really bright. So we close the window shutters because that sunlight can cause your brain to get active and make it hard to sleep. We close the shutters and we turn off the lights or turn them to a night setting inside ISS. And then inside Node 2, when you saw the video where we came into the space station where we were all together and took that picture, that is the same module where we have what we call crew quarters. And they're like phone booths, or for you young folks who don't know what phone booths are, they're like just big boxes, big human-sized boxes. And inside of there, we have a sleeping bag that we tie to the wall. And again, because you don't lie down, sleeping can be kind of tricky. When you zip up inside your sleeping bag, you're still not lying down. You're just floating in the middle of it. And so learning to get comfortable sleeping in space, it can be tricky, but it is possible. And I slept very well. I slept very comfortably floating in the middle of my crew quarters in my sleeping bag. Great question.
Mrs. Lackey's class has heard that your bones get weak